I'm Diana McCallum.
I'm Darryl Pring.
This is episode 14 of Fan vs. Fan for The Flash.
Tell me your name.
Robbie Raymond.
Pardon me. Obviously, I need a change of clothes.
Sir, look at this. Two imprints of impact.
Separated.
What do you want?
Firestorm. Gentlemen, we are at war.
So in this week's episode of The Flash, we had Firestorm successfully break apart, and the military showed up because they want a little piece of that Firestorm action. And then Firestorm came together, more successfully than before, and then they both ran away, and Iris is investigating things.
Finally, she has something to do.
So Darryl, your first episode, you can go first. What were your pros for this episode?
Okay, mine's a pity big po. It's a pretty big pro. It is Act 3 of the entire episode. From the effects, which I love the Firestorm effects. I know some other people had a little, issue with them, but I think they're pretty solid. The fight sequence, the fact that Barry was, running around in circles instead of having to, save the day. Even the writing in the third act was much stronger. The Shakespeare quote I loved. Yeah, just the whole final third of the show felt really strong, and then the teaser at the end especially really got me.
I wasn't super a fan of Barry just running in a circle. It's pretty convenient that every time Barry gets attacked with something, Wells can just go, "Run, Barry, run!" He said it like 8 times in 14 episodes.
It's true.
What else is Barry gonna do?
Like, how could he not know to run at this point? Like, it's pretty much all he does.
Actually, you know what? I think an easier plan would have been, take off your clothes, Barry. They're covered in acid. But we can run in a circle for 5 minutes, sure.
What about you? What was your big pro for this episode?
My big pro was actually kind of similar, pretty much the last 15 minutes of the episode, but basically just seeing Firestorm working. Like, I like Firestorm. I think he's fun. Him actually like merging together successfully, like, he looks cool, his powers are cool, he's still not doing things where he changes elements, but there's fire everywhere. And I agree, I think the fire did look really good.
I think so too, yeah.
When he finally started attacking. And most of all, I loved that we got the voice in the head.
Right, the Obi-Wan voice, yeah.
Yeah, because like in the comic books it's great because like there's a floating head and he looks crazy because people are like, who are you talking to? Because they can't see the floating head, but the audience can. But yeah, finally getting the two voices working together and like seeing Ronnie and Martin like bickering like a little couple, but like they don't hate each other. Neither of them are like real jerks, but they still bicker about things. It's fun. It's a fun dichotomy.
They're like a good married couple, you know.
Way better than the actual married couple.
Oh my God, like the Steins, for instance.
The wife who likes stripes
and knows every secret identity of anybody ever. But
that lady's gotta die. She knows everything.
There's no way she can survive this
She knows more than Iris.
So, Diana, what were your cons of this episode?
My con is kind of the exact opposite of my pro, which is that the first 40 minutes of this episode were super slow. And not even that it was slow, because last week was slow too, but like a lot of it was just rehashing stuff we already know. Like, Joe had to tell Barry all the stuff they found at the other house, but like him telling Barry isn't exciting to us because we all already know all this information. We've seen the PowerPoint of the mom dying.
But more importantly, how do they get access to this house so often? They're always going back to this house. Are they renting it now? Like, did they take ownership for the month? And where's the MILF? Is she still at the movies?
Where did she go? Yeah, Joe had keys to that house.
Yeah,
like
Barry had keys too.
Did Barry have keys too?
Why does everyone have keys to this place?
I know. Did they kick her out and they tell her it's a crime scene again? Where is this poor woman who lives there? I feel like Joe is like using her for crime scene access now.
I think they might be doing something for these keys, for these special access. They might be giving the MILF a little bit of special access, if you know what I'm saying.
I do.
My biggest con was the fact that there's, I like to call it like common sense continuity. After the nuclear explosion, like, they separated, and Stein had like glasses on and like his own little outfit. Like, how did they separate an outfit into like 2 separate outfits?
To be fair, they were both dressed when they got merged.
Right.
I don't know how clothes.
How did the clothes suddenly come apart into one? And more importantly, how do they combine? Because they had to wear like that jacket when he was like searching for garbage. That whole thing. My other con was when Joe took Barry initially back to the house to tell him that he was there as an adult, and then had to put him through the slideshow of the death of his mother as as reason to get to the blood. You could have just pointed at the blood instead of showing, the worst moment of your life in still images to you.
It is a little traumatizing. I mean, when Joe tells him later, like, I feel like I put more heartbreak on you, you're kind of like, yeah, Joe?
You totally did.
You showed him his mom terrified right before she died. That's
But he
harsh.
did say, as your guardian, he's looking out for him. And, Joe is just a wonderful human being.
Joe is the best
Joe,
dad.
will you be my guardian?
Letters out to Joe from Darryl.
Shout
Looking
out.
for a guardian.
So, Diana, what were the Easter eggs this week?
The Easter eggs this week were mostly a bunch of cities. So the first one we had was they mentioned Coast City as the fake city Ronnie was from. So Coast City is where Green Lantern Hal Jordan works when he's defending people. If he exists in this universe,
Oh, okay.
that's where he is. They also mentioned Midway City this week, and that's where a bunch of heroes work and live in the DC universe. Mostly Hawkman, Hawkwoman, and the Doom Patrol at certain times.
Oh, very cool.
So I don't think they're showing up, but you never know. But those cities exist. We know that those cities exist. At
And
least.
so does Pittsburgh, apparently.
Pittsburgh also exists, the only non-fictional city they mentioned, but in the comic books that's actually where Firestorm works and, like, protects people.
Sorry, in the comic books he works out of Pittsburgh?
Yeah, Martin Stein and Ronnie meet in Pittsburgh at, like, the university, and yeah, those Pittsburgh heroes!
So we can't do New York, guys. We can't do LA, but Pittsburgh, we're in 100%.
They were for it. Pittsburgh needed heroes that bad.
Shout out to Steel Town.
So one more Easter egg this week that was actually in last week, and we missed it, sorry. The Quantum Splicer, when it's put on Ronnie, it looks a lot like the Firestorm symbol, on purpose, obviously.
As it should, yeah.
That Firestorm wears in the comic books. So yeah, so now you get the symbol. His head's not constantly in a ring of fire with a halo from the comic books, which is fine. You don't need it. But yeah, we got the Splicer looking like the symbol, so we missed that last week, guys.
My apologies, too. I'm so sorry I missed it last week.
So we were tweeting along at the Fan vs. Fan tag this week. If you want to follow us, you can go at Twitter at Dorkshelf, right here.
Or subscribe on YouTube, right here.
This has been Fan vs. Fan, episode 14. We'll be back next week with reviews, Easter eggs. You can comment below, tell us how we're doing. I've been Diana McCallum.
And say how wonderful I was, Darryl Pring. And when I see you next week, it'll be really exciting. I'm going to really research the role more, try to find out, more minutia about the DC universe, more of a Marvel fan, but that's no big deal. But I can't wait to be back next week, right?
You can follow us on Twitter, right here.
Yeah,
Subscribe, right over there.
my wife left me because of the show.
That was not a strong marriage.
No, it really wasn't.
Twitter.